Whoa! We
Whoa!
started. Please go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this chat about what was it called again? Let me check. The
The
energy
energy.
of changing everything. Was that it?
Yes.
Yes. So, um, I would like to do this with because I mean, there's a lot that Masha and I have been talking about me coming to Russia now and what's going on. So we'll give you some information about that, but we'll also give you a lot of information. That's the main part of this call about choosing change. And I don't know about you, but my life lately has been changing a lot, and it's changing every minute, every second. And sometimes I'm like, where am I going? And that's fine too. Um, but we need to relax in those moments. We have to really be present and catch ourselves when we're actually freaking out without asking a single question. Now, question empowers and answer and conclusions disempower. That's the main thing. Okay, so we're done with class. Bye-bye. So, and please feel free, ladies, on the chat now to ask any questions. We're here for you because, like I said, I'm coming to Russia and I'm super excited. This morning, I got my visa approved. So I'm picking it up on Monday morning. Woo! So on Monday, I'm actually booking the ticket and we'll know exactly what days I'm coming there. And I'm super excited to meet all of you in person. And I have a lot of things to offer. And if you go in our chats in Russian and in English, you will see what you can choose. No, in English, there is not there yet. They didn't get that privilege, but we'll do it. We'll fix it for those watching this later. But in the Russian chats, there's what kind of things you would like to choose from what I have to gift to you, basically. And there's a lot that I would like to give to you. I've been passing a period of like, trying to solve problems, trying to do these things according to this reality and whatever, instead of just relaxing and knowing that I have my back. I trust myself, which I don't sometimes, but I have to trust myself and also trust the universe, because the universe always delivers what you ask for. Always. And I keep repeating this in every class, every call. So we make a specific ask or demand of something very clear and precise when the universe is actually, and it's this more what we ask for, when the universe is also ready to give us this much more, because it's very kind, it's very generous, and it's this energy of gifting and receiving, which is very different from give and take. Give and take is like, I give you this, but I expect something in return. Gifting and receiving is like, I give you this, I don't expect anything. It's a present because I adore you, because I'm grateful for you. It's an act of kindness. There's no transactional reality in gifting and receiving. And give and take is all about transactional reality and actually expecting something from the other person. Hi, Vera. And hi, Vina. And hi, iPhone and iPhone. Oh, there we go. So we have two people called iPhone. No, we have oh God, I can't read Russian. Tatiana? Yay! I'm starting to read Russian. Applause to me. But I think you can perceive the energy of my excitement to come to Russia. I've been away from there for a long time. I spent 2 months in Bali. I spent 3 months in Rome. So that's 5 months that I've been away from Russia. And I miss Russia. I miss you guys. There's a totally different energy when I'm in Russia than when I'm here in Rome. Rome is my home. Rome is home, it rhymes. But Rome should feel like home, but somehow Russia feels more like my home. And that is thanks to you guys. It's thanks to what you're willing to receive from me. It's thanks to how much change you're asking for that I'm more than willing to contribute to with. And that's why I'm putting out a lot of classes, a lot of events, a lot of different things, so that you can choose. You can choose it all, choose nothing, choose one of them, choose two of them. It doesn't matter. I'm here to contribute to you, and that's what makes me happiest. You can see this in my relationship with my darling Yulia, that you all know very well, that and my closest friends, you know, like Masha, like Yulia, you see how much I love to gift to Yulia, and not just to Yulia, but in my classes and in my calls. If we say, it's impossible for me to say, to decide, let's do a 10-minute call, let's keep it short, let's do a half an hour call, let's keep it short. I always end up at 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and I don't know, because first of all, I love talking.
I never see a call from Andrea for 10 minutes. It's never will be.
No, it will never be. It will never be, because I have so much to share. I'm not going to reveal my age, because we have a class coming out about that very soon. Or is it a call? I can't remember. But anyway, we're going live, and it's about being ageless. And unless you know how old I am, I bet that you will never guess how old I am. Because that shows up in my life every single day, and people are always going like, "What? You're only 25? You look like, I don't know, 75." No, I'm kidding. But so I'm willing to receive questions here about what you would like to do for me to contribute to with when I'm in Russia, and also when I'm away. Why not? And but mainly when I'm in Russia, because I love seeing people in person. And if you're in another city, then then you're more than welcome to join us online, like we're doing now. So let's start with that. Does anybody have any questions, any desires, any requests, either from me or from you or from the universe or anybody else or anything else? You can put it in the chat. You can unmute yourself and say it here. And yes.
And when Andrea asked about your questions, it's not only about, like, we don't know what to talk about on this call. It's not like this.
No.
It's really about that. It's a gift for you to ask a question. And we have a few days ago, we have some call about what question can change.
Yeah, the
And
power of the
all
question, it was called.
Yeah, the power of the question. And all the time we Andrea was talking about that when you go to conclusion, it's a stop. When you go to answer, it's consciousness and your way for for more.
No, when you go to the question, not for the answer, when you go to the question.
To the question, yeah.
And if you're wondering, like I've done so many times in big classes with Gary and Dane and Simone and everybody else, I'm always like, what shall I ask for? What shall I ask for? And then I was like, just open your mouth and talk and see what shows up, because then you're actually being your consciousness. You're being your being and not your brain. So please, okay, everything that doesn't allow us to let go of our minds, to let go into our conclusional brains, and to go into the computations of and conclusions of, what can I ask now? How can I contribute to this call? Oh, I feel like I'm being stupid if I say something wrong. No, you're not being stupid. And if it's something it's not yours, maybe you're just helping somebody else on this call to ask a question or to say something. And it doesn't have to be a question. It can just be like, hey, I'm having this kind of shit going on for me. I would like to change that. And I don't know where to go. Or I would like to be rich and famous. How do I go about it? So you're open to say whatever you want. Or just say, hi, Masha. Hi, Yulia. Hi, Andrea.
I will start, Andrea. I will start to ask you questions, and maybe girls will find something for them and ask more. So when we put some of our calls, sometimes I don't know what it will be. And it's happened all the time. So and when I put this name, we put this name, and I write a post about this call. It was like some secret, like some secret energy that can change everything. And I
Yes.
really want to know what do you perceive about this? What is this energy?
Yes. This energy is actually the openness to receive everything that is going to be a contribution for you and for the world and for everybody else that's watching these calls and being present with these calls. So it's a lot about that. And I function, as you've noticed, in 10-second increments. And I will put a class and I might change it at the last minute, change the title. I had a class in Dubai where I added actually 2 titles to the original one. So, and that contributed, I was aware of something, because that sounds crazy, doing one class with 3 different names that are talking to 3 different types of people. But that created a lot. Why? Because I was manipulating the photographers to join into my Undefining Beauty class that I actually started creating for photographers. And I've hardly had any photographers on those calls. It's a lot of other people that get it. And it's, yeah, photography is a tool of that, but it's not about that. It's not about beauty. It's not about cosmetics. It's really, that class is so potent that it can literally change a big part of your life and actually start getting you on the path, on the way to actually creating yourself with these tools, your life that you actually desire, that you thought was impossible because everybody tells you so, including yourself. Nothing is impossible. So with your question, Masha, it's really this thing of like being present with it and being willing to change, because the universe will always gift us something and it's never going to show up the way we think. And most of the time, it's like when you go in a forest, and there's a lot of them in Russia, just go in the forest, if you don't believe me, and go further in the forest, not just in the beginning, but just take a few steps in, look at a tree, and then you turn around and try and find that tree. It's going to be very tricky. Or you go in a forest and you see a tree, and then you go another day in the forest and you want to find that tree. Are you going to see it? No. Why? Because there's so many trees. So the universe gives us so many trees, which are possibilities, which are things that you cannot perceive. You cannot see the single tree that is what you've been asking for. And you keep focusing on that single thing that you've been asking for without seeing all of these things that you can choose from, which actually are the energy of your question, of your ask, of your demand, call it whatever you want. But you're still focusing so much on that you're not going on something else that is totally different, but that would actually contribute even more, even greater to that request. I'll give you an example. I had all my life, basically, since I was a teenager, I had decided and had the strong point of view that I would be a freelance the rest of my life. I would be a freelance photographer until I started adding access in my life. And I love doing access classes. I love empowering people, and I love seeing people grow through my classes. That's, for me, that's a real turn on. And not for me as an ego, but to see actually people choosing something different. That's what really turns me on. And so I had this fixed point of view of, I will never have a steady job. I like being a freelancer. And yes, sometimes I don't have any money, and sometimes I'm rich as hell. And I'll spend all my money because I have not saved a single penny from all the money that I earned. And my brother keeps telling me, if you just saved a little bit from your job, right now you would have a mansion, you would have a Ferrari, you would have all that. But you chose instead to fly business class all the time, live in 5-star hotels, or rent big apartments, big houses, drinking champagne every day. And you lived like you were rich already, rather than, yes, you could still have had that, but just put the famous 10% account or even 30% account for using in times maybe when you're actually creating something that the money is not quite there, but make sure that you repay your 10% account. And you just use it as a borrowing that you actually honor, because that's an honoring of you. It's an honoring of your financial situation, and it's an honoring of everything. And that would not put me in situations where I actually don't have any money when I freak out, because I'm a rich bitch, and a rich bitch without any money is not a happy rich bitch. So this thing of, not knowing where the classes are going is perceiving, it could be even perceiving an energy of change, an energy of something that's required. And I used to function from the point of view also that I cannot create a class until I have the name. I cannot create a project until I have the name, because the name will give me that energy. And now I'm like, no, when you get an awareness of like, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know what it actually is about. I don't have a clue about the name, but I know that something needs to be created. And that's when me and Masha go in the question of like, okay, so there's this energy showing up. And we might give it a topic, not a title, not a name, just a topic. Sometimes not even that. And then we start asking a question about, okay, so let's ask this creation, when and where does it require to be? Does it require to be just online? Does it require to be just in person? Or does it require both? Do we need translation to several languages? Do we need this? And it's not going into conclusion of like, we're doing this just for the Russian market because I'm going to Russia now, so I have to fill my classes. No, this call is actually, I've been inviting people from all over the world. And right now, there's only Russian people here, so I'm grateful for that. And let's see if somebody from other countries will actually watch the recording of this. Because yes, this is mainly for Russia because I'm coming there in just a few days. Oh God, I'm happy. And but it's also applicable to all the countries that I will be visiting in the future. So did that answer your question, Masha?
Yes, and I want to ask more. What's the good question for asking over perceiving this energy that can change like my question, somebody question, what
That is
tool you
being
use?
present. That is being vulnerable and being totally present with the whole universe, basically. And being present with the earth, because the earth is trying desperately, and our bodies are trying to gift us so much all the time, and we're not receiving. When I was living in Sweden, I was going for a lot of walks in the forest that was just outside my home, and I would be present. I would see squirrels, I would see deers coming in the forest and, coming very close, beautiful birds and different animals and different trees. And I was really present with it. And I kept on seeing these people jogging with their headphones on, not seeing any of this. They were just like this. And that's not being present. And being present, and especially being vulnerable, please be aware that being that vulnerable and that present will actually increase the power of your antennas of being totally aware of everything, including everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So, and we are choosing to come in these bodies and create these bodies with our energies because we know that there's so much on this planet to be enjoyed with a body. We can still enjoy it without the body, but then we don't have these beautiful senses of touching something beautiful, touching beautiful skin, or being touched on our skin, of eating delicious food, of seeing beautiful things and beautiful people with no judgment, just receiving the beauty of this planet that is incredible. And if more people were functioning from that, which is actually functioning from receiving and kindness, what would the world actually look like? Would there be any more conflicts? Would there be any more war? Or would there be more oneness? And that is what I'm asking more of. That's what I'm asking more of with these classes. And that's why I'm so grateful for all of you that are choosing these calls and classes and for the facilitations or whatever it is that I'm putting out there to be a contribution. Now, one thing that I would like to, sorry, first of all, Masha, did that answer your question?
Yeah, and I think that's if we will not be being present with ourselves,
Yeah,
so we can't see our beauty as well.
totally.
Mhm.
And and about that, I would like to invite you to a class that, like I said before, to Undefining Beauty, that I'm doing an intro of in Russia. And it's not an Undefining Beauty class as so. It's a class based on some of the tools of Undefining Beauty that are really about this, about Oh, my light is going off very soon. And I have to, I have another battery. Look, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Just give me a
Bravo. Yes, I said, Andrea, if you are the light man, please put your light on the call.
Yes.
Please.
And here I am. I'm back. I'm back. You see? The light shaper is back.
Yeah. Now we see
I don't
all
know how
your
that-
beauty, Andrea.
Yeah, oh, Masha. And I don't know how long this light is going to go on for. Maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. So let's try and keep it to that. Otherwise, I have a little bit on one battery, but not that much. So anyhow, it's because I'm out in the balcony. I wanted to be out on the balcony to have some fresh air and to have a cigarette. And yes, and that is inviting you to receive with no judgment. That was a nice manipulation, wasn't it? Oh, wow. So let's go back. What's showing up? Masha, do you have any more things that are showing up in your life, or any questions or anything you would like to add or ask?
Yeah, the thing that start I think that start this call or this energy, and we all the time talk with Andrea about different things, and sometimes like, people need to hear it. Why only we talk about
Yeah,
it?
that's true. That's true. We have a lot
Yeah.
of creative conversations. Yes.
Yes. And I was on Julia's class, I think 2 days before, and
Yeah.
I saw some of our friends who was on your classes, who have private facilitation and something like this. And she didn't see me since I think next summer,
Yeah.
next no, last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
summer of last year. So and she said, wow, you so changed your beauty, your face, your body, how it's changed. And for me, it's not about because she see me in 1 year, so how I changed in 1 year. And me, I see myself every day. So sometimes we really don't see this change before some of the people. It's not about that nothing changed. It's about what you said before, to be kind for yourself
Yeah.
and to be present with all the change.
Yes.
And when you want to change something new, you still need to be present with change that you made before.
Yes. And also being vulnerable.
Yes, yes. And after that, I want to see, and I looked to my pictures from photo facilitation. I was on your photo facilitation, I think 1.5 years ago, maybe, or 1 year ago.
Yeah.
So, and I looked for them, and I was like, wow, they changed too, because as I remember them, they was totally different.
Yeah.
Because my energy was totally different. I was thinking about I need to lose my weight. I need to be more weight. I need to be more big lips, small lips, big eyes, small eyes, and something like this. Now I'm not being like this, because I don't think that I need to be bigger or smaller or something like this. I changed the energy of this. And at this moment, I totally perceive that it's this change start from this photo facilitation with you.
Thank you
They
for
really start,
that.
yeah, they really start there.
Yes.
With this energy. And I think the energy that we are talking about today on this call, it's really similar. Maybe it's this energy that you use on photo facilitation.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Is it similar or no?
It's very similar. It's very similar because photo facilitations are an invitation for you to be totally vulnerable and present with you. And it's like what I said before, of asking for big lips or for asking for small lips or for asking these things. That is like when you ask the universe this tiny thing, and then the universe shows you this. But at photo facilitation, what I empower you to do is to actually being willing to receive anything or what is presented to you that is way bigger than big lips or small lips or a beautiful house on the lake, and you actually know which house. Instead of actually seeing, wow, what do I actually desire from this house? What can I receive from this house that I'm looking at now? Do I actually desire this particular house, or is the energy of this house that it has this calm energy to it because it's right by a lake, it's into a forest. I don't have any stupid neighbors next to me. I can take walks in the forest. I can go and swim in the lake naked if I want. And is that what I'm asking more of? So maybe, and if you're aware of, if you ask a question like that, then you might not get that house, or you might get it. If that's right for you, you will get it. If it's not right for you, you will have possibilities of, like, I don't know, going to Mexico, going to Bali, or going somewhere in the world where you can actually find a house by the sea or by a lake or by a river or whatever you desire, and that is going to give you that energy that you are actually asking for. That is not the house. It's not the lips. It's not the body. It's not all these things. And the funny thing with the body is that whenever you judge your body, it will keep giving you more of what you don't want to have. It's like when you say, oh, I don't have any money. The universe just hears not have any money. It's like, oh, you don't want to have any money. I'll give you more poverty. So you have to not go into conclusions with your questions. A question of like, I don't want to be poor is actually not a question. It's a question with an exclamation mark at the end of it. A question would be, what would it be like for me to be willing and able to receive more wealth in my life? And everything doesn't allow that. Can we please destroy and create it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shows, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
Yeah,
I
it's
see that
really
there's some
true.
questions also there's a question in the chat as well from Tatiana.
Yes, she asked if you planned some classes in Europe for Russian, maybe in Germany.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. Yes. Germany actually pops, and Hungary pops, and Bali pops. We've been in Bali, and that pops definitely, because I get that in Bali there's so many people that are searching for something similar to this, and they don't really know about it. But it's more of like getting them to know about what we have to offer and what we're here for, that we would like to contribute. And I'm saying we because I don't create these classes. First of all, I have an amazing team. And so we co-create, but also you guys being present in these classes, we're actually creating this call together. It's not just me or me and Masha that are creating this call. It's you guys by just being here and receiving. Hi, Varvara.
Mhm.
She looks so different today.
Yeah.
Mhm. She looks like a superstar.
Yeah. And if you know some people who organize access classes or something different in Germany or
Yeah.
in other cities, in other countries, Russia, Europe, and different.
Yes, and thank you for that question, because
Let
I've
me
been
know.
traveling a lot with Yulia this last year, and I've been traveling a lot in my whole life. But this year in particular, I've noticed how many Russians are spread out in the world in different countries. I'm going to a bar swap this afternoon, and it's supposed to be an Italian bar swap, but 90% of the ladies there are Russian, and they're willing to receive access classes and whatever. So, I mean, yes, thank you for the question. And what Masha said is so real, because we're here to contribute. But, one thing that we're a little bit weak in, and I'm willing to admit that, in actually having somebody that promotes what we have to do, what we have to deliver, not do, but we have to gift, to contribute with. And for me, a promoter is not a salesperson. No, I don't want a salesperson to be selling these things. I would like more somebody that is really an invitation and is willing to, and is able to help us create this class in a physical way. So it's nothing to do with somebody being a perfect salesperson or whatever. I don't want that, because the sales energy is actually a pushy energy, which I don't want in my classes. I don't want in my creations. I want an invitation of what else is possible, empowering people to choose what they would really like to choose in their life, and getting them past these blocks that sometimes we can't even see that we're stuck there. And I've had so many revelations in these 3 months alone in Rome about how much I have been functioning of limiting myself. And that's vulnerability as well, of like, wow, that's really interesting that I've been functioning like that with my whole life and I couldn't even see it. And as soon as I do clearings on myself, I facilitate myself, and I also ask friends to facilitate me, how as soon as I facilitate that, and facilitating actually is the word of making things easier. So how much more ease I have after that facilitation, how many other things not necessarily related to that topic are actually being cleared. And I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't, just receive the energy.
I see here today Natalia, who was on your photo facilitation in Moscow. So, yes. Natalia, if you want to talk with us or you want to tell something, it's not about tell only good things. That the first photo facilitation was so good. I want to tell. No, it's truth. About really truth. Yeah.
Truth.
If you want to tell something or to write, please talk with us.
Yes, and also please don't feel, I mean, I know that you're getting a translation, maybe some of you are not, but it's not a thing of like, oh, I can't speak English, I don't want to put myself in on camera or just on audio asking my question in English because I'm uncomfortable with that. No, you can ask in Russian, both in the chat and vocal here on the Zoom.
I just realized that it's my first call in English.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
And I remember that I start to talk more in English, to talk more with you. And I start translate on photo facilitation sessions, because one of the, it was the day of my photo facilitation. We have another person, I think it was Tanya or
maybe Tanya. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe. So, and she said that I don't need translation, but when she comes and start to Andrea start to facilitate her, it was like her brain was broken, and she like, help me, I don't understand anything. And Andrea said me like, Masha, you can translate to her, and I'm like, what? I'm not a translator. I know English only from my school and from university, and since a lot of not Russian guys from another countries stopped coming to Russia. I don't use my English, so.
And your English is great.
Masha, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel the difference between you when you speak English and you when you speak Russian? So do you feel this personal difference, like your personality? How does your personality change? Because when I speak English, I'm so like, I'm a teacher for kids, and I like feel how I become I know, more self-confident, and my back is straight and my shoulders goes down. When I speak Russian, I'm like nature lover. I'm so like into this culture, and it depends. Of course, it depends on the situation. But this is my question to you: do you feel the difference? How does your personality change?
Thank you for your question. It's really amazing, because I just realized that I'm start to perceive the energy when I'm talking in English just maybe 1 month ago, because after that it was like I'm thinking about what words I should put, or how it's like a lot of things that I want to say. I need to put it in the word. So if it will be last year, I will not make this call. But my English was the same. Yes, it's changed. It started to be more words, more like I feel more energy of this, more light. But it's still about thinking. If I see you, English teacher, on this call, I'm just last year I will be like, what? What? I can't speak. She will know all my mistakes. And now I really want to see what is the energy when I speak more English, and maybe it's a new me. What
Yep.
else is possible?
It's not actually a
Yeah.
new you, it's actually you being more of you.
Yeah, it's
Because how much judgment was not related to that I cannot translate? Because that's the conclusion.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a question.
No, it was not a question. And
Mm.
I can also share what goes on for me when I speak in different languages, because I speak 4 languages. And for
I
instance,
think
when I
5.
well, my Spanish is so-so, so it's 4.5. Let's say 4 3/4.
Okay.
And I noticed I was speaking to a Mexican, really good friend of mine last night about business. And I noticed how when I'm away from a country for so long, because I haven't been in Mexico for 1 year now, or a little bit, 1.5 years actually. When I'm not in Mexico, my Spanish goes down. When I'm in Mexico, I pick it up in 1 day and I'm fluent again. So it's a matter of practicing a language as well. But I noticed with Swedish that I was talking every day is how much of a different person I was actually being. Because now I speak English, which for me is actually more of a first language than Italian, funny enough, because I speak more English than Italian. But when I'm speaking both Italian and English, but English even more, I'm being more of me. When I speak Swedish, I'm being Swedish. I'm being like a chameleon that turns into a Swedish person. So I'm more like da 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 da, and rather than actually being me, allowing myself to be crazy and stupid and whatever. And if I make a mistake, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, because our first language is actually energy. It's not words. And what Access keeps telling all the translators is like, try not to translate every word. And if you need to say a sentence in your own way, if you perceive the energy, that's great. So translation is not about literal translation. And that is both in written translation and verbal translations, is more of really perceiving the energy of what's being said by the person that you're translating.
And it's
So
really good that we was talking about like changes of beauty, and
yeah,
it's not only about face, body, something like this.
exactly.
Language is still what our body make,
Yes,
and
it's
it's
more of
beauty.
our being. It's beauty. The beauty is actually, when I created the class of Undefining Beauty that I created with the wonderful Mr. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, and we started creating that class together. And one thing that he said, because I was asking him questions, I said, there's one thing that I perceived and I have questions about, is that there's so many points of views, not just with physical beauty, but a lot about other things. And for instance, I read a comment on one of the Access chats of somebody saying, yeah, but fascists are stupid anyway, they have no taste. And sure, I have my points of views about fascists. Sure. I have my points of views that are probably most of the world's point of view about that. But what I actually see is that I love the fascist architecture and fascist art. In Italy, I mean, Mussolini was one of the biggest fascists in the world until now, when we have a lot of fascists in the world. And but Mussolini created some of the biggest and most beautiful buildings and bridges and art and whatever. Not himself, but he got people to create that with his vision. If we look at the propaganda images that were being used by the Nazis, or even in the USSR, or in China, if you look at the propaganda images, they are so beautiful. And that is receiving beauty without any judgment, without any point of view. It's really having your barriers down and receiving the beauty that you can receive from everything. And Gary said, I have this friend that is also a photographer, and he likes photographing garbage. And because he sees that there's some beauty in that. And I don't know if you remember, Masha, but at one point for Undefining Beauty, I was not having pictures of people, but I was having pictures of toxic waste. I mean, toxic waste is something that is actually not kind to the planet. It's not a...
Yeah, we had it in the chat. Yeah,
yes,
we
yeah,
sent it. Chat, yeah.
yeah. And it's, you know, toxic waste, but it's a beautiful image that could be contemporary art. So I perceive that as beauty, not going into the association or the conclusion that that is bringing a message of whatever it is. And maybe it is that, but there's also a person behind that image, behind that creation, whatever it is, that is an artist that doesn't have that point of view, but actually sees the beauty in this. And there's also a lot, 99.9% of photographers actually function from judgment, both positive and negative judgments. I'm not going to say more than that, because that's a whole class and it's a big, big topic, which is Undefining Beauty, or the class that we're doing soon. But it's negative judgment and positive judgment are still judgments. And every judgment will actually start destroying your life and at least diminishing you, so making you even smaller. Whereas gratitude actually is creating greater for what you desire. So everything doesn't allow us to receive more beauty in our life, rather than going into the conclusion that there's so much ugliness in the world, and not receiving the beauty even from those things that have been considered and judged as ugly. Can we please destroy and create it all times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shows, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
I had some question for Vera.
Yes. And I don't want you to just give me questions, because we're doing this call together. So go with what you know. And you know a lot, Masha. I call you a lot about my, facilitating me as well. So,
Yeah, you
All ear. Yeah, I'm all ear. Yeah.
but Vera was she chose for the facilitation with you, Andrea, in July. Yay!
Yeah. Yay!
And
Yay.
I want to ask you why you choose it.
I have no
What
idea.
you see, what you see, what you feel, because you don't know what will be there. And you was the person who don't ask all the
Any
information
questions?
about
Just trust.
any question, just choose. Why?
I have no idea. I told Andrea I was walking down the alley, surrounded by trees, and I just got the message that I need to register. And I have my own dream, and not dream, it's a call. I name it a call. So call from my soul that I need do something, and this something is about poetry, about art, about singing, about healing, doing all this, how to say, to achieve all my, to share all my love I have inside. And I was thinking about the strategy. What should I do? What is my next step? And I just got this idea. I've heard it somewhere, and I remember last year when I met Andrea. I am not sure if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
I came to the yoga generation yoga fest. Was it a fest?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a fest. And that day I was thinking about the face. My name is Vera. In Russian, it means face.
Oh,
So,
wow. I
and
didn't know that.
all the time I am thinking about, like, it's my life, and my name is connected to this meaning. And all the time when I hear Vera, even when people are talking not about me, not about me as a person, but they're talking about this um, power, yes, of faith, of believing in themselves, and so on. I was like feeling this call inside, and I was thinking that moment about this, and I realized that I can change my face. I can change it, not even just once. I can do it all the time, every single moment. I can accept different pieces of it and create something new. And in that particular day, I've seen you talking the same thoughts I had in my mind from the stage, and that's why I came to you. And I knew that maybe it doesn't matter for you, and it wasn't like something unique, and for me as well. But I didn't know why. I just came and said that hello, I'm Vera. That's it. And I got it. Like, I've seen you talking from stage, using my thoughts and like pronouncing them. I was like, oh, yes, it's true. Thank you, Andrea. It was like, wow. And it was the first day I've met you, and I've met Julia. But before this event, I don't remember before or after, I registered to Kundalini Yoga uh, teaching course.
Mm.
I didn't know Julia at all. I am a newcomer in St. Petersburg. I'm from East Siberia. I just was looking for the yoga course to teach, because I practiced yoga for a long time. Yes, I can't say how many years. I don't remember already. And I just felt that I need to start like giving it back to people.
Yeah.
And I found that course, and I had a call with Masha, and everything was like all my puzzles started to be completed in my beautiful picture. And even when I have a chance to listen to you when you have such Zoom meetings, all the time I paint or do something, just because I receive a lot of energy and I have a lot, and I need to like give it back. And sometimes I'm painting, sometimes I'm doing something, and it's like the process, it's a dialogue. I feel that way. And I've heard like you're a photographer, and I love your philosophy of light. I'm following this philosophy, and I just got this idea, this feeling that I need this photo facilitation, and this is going to be my next step to like to show up, to show the world what I have for this world.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, because photo facilitation is actually an invitation to be more of you and to let go of those points of views that are stopping you from being all of you.
And I do not know other person who can do this, only you, Andrea. So
And don't make me the source, because I'm a facilitator. I'm not a fixer. So I'm not going to fix anything, but I'm very aware
there's
of
nothing
what.
to fix.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to ask you questions. I'm not going to give you answers, but I'm going to give you ask you questions of what is so obvious for me. Because when I see a person, no matter what their body looks like, no matter what their face looks like, no matter what they're dressed like, I don't judge. I don't have an ounce of judgment. The first thing that I perceive when I meet a new person is the beauty of that person. And that's the beauty of their being, because our beings are beautiful all the time.
Yes, and I want to look at your
Why?
mirror.
And the beauty of our being is because our being actually has no judgment. We buy the judgment when we're being born, even before we're being born, because we perceive those judgments even from our mum's belly. And we have all these projections. Oh, he's going to be a boy. Oh, he's going to be great. And he's going to do this and this and this and that. Or it's a girl. So that's great. She's going to be this and this and this. And how much of that are we not buying as expectations from our parents to start with of what we have to be? And we live our lives of what we have to be rather than like, what would I actually like to experience on this planet? And I talk a lot about our bodies being, oh no, I have to change my battery again. Give me 2 seconds. No, that was full. Hold on. That's not the battery. I'm still talking so people don't think that I'm disappearing here. But I just remembered something about the slide is that it's not the battery dying. So we actually have 2 full batteries now. Is that after a while, the modeling light, which is what I'm using because it's a flash, actually, it's not a video light. After a while, to protect the heating, the overheating of the lamp, it switches off. All I have to do is push one button and it switches on again. So there we go. Yes, we can go on for 2 hours now. Masha and Yulia going, no,
It's not a class.
again. Not again. It's not a class. This is a call, for God's sake. So yes, Vera, I'm really grateful for you choosing that and I'm grateful for because you're willing to receive the change and for actually starting to see who you actually would like to be and who you already are. Because everything that you would like to be, you already are that. You are that as your being. You've always been. It's just our minds. I'm not saying our brain because our brain is just a beautiful computer and it's the most beautiful computer that will ever exist. No artificial intelligence will replace that because that will have a lot of conclusions and already has. But it's our mind, and our minds are created from what I said before, from everybody else's points of views. It's not created by us. Our minds actually have nothing to do with us. And our mind is it's created, we created in order to protect our body, but very often the mind is there to stop you from what you actually would like to choose because of the points of views that you bought from everybody else, because that is bad and not good, and that's evil and instead of kind and whatever. And we have all these things that we mix up that stops us from really being us.
Yes,
So thank you
yes,
for choosing it.
and great thing that you said. It's about you are not the source of changing. It's
Exactly.
like you give this space, you
Yeah.
give this energy, you
Yeah.
like go with this person at this energy, and this energy is being you.
Yeah.
Not being Andrea Belluso, but
Yeah.
being you.
Yeah. Basically, you can compare it to being you class, even the Undefining Beauty, and you can compare it to Right Voice for You class. And I was having a chat with Lali. You can actually see that on my Instagram because it was an Instagram live that now has become a reel. And you can see it on my YouTube also with Russian translation. And I lost myself. Oh, God, talk about being ADHD.
Being you, right voice for you.
Yes, thank you. So
Mhm.
these sessions are a mix of all that, but with one more tool, which is photography, because photography has no point of view. And what I was saying before about the bodies and the beings is that when I see a person, I see all the beauty of that person, which is their being. And I also see all the judgments that they have of themselves, but I still don't have any point of view of that. That for me is just great information for the facilitation that I can be a contribution of to during the photo facilitations. It's my awareness. And I know that a lot of people don't choose photo facilitation because they're scared of it. And they're scared of it because they think, I can't be in front of a camera. I'm not a model. I'm too ugly. How much judgment is that? And these classes are not being models or creating that. I'm not creating pictures. When I create fashion pictures or commercial pictures for advertising, I work in a completely different way. These pictures are for you. These pictures are for your being to be more connected to your body and actually letting go of your mind's control and restrictions. That's what these sessions are about. And the photography only comes in as a tool of empowerment. I don't use the camera or the lights as most photographers use it to create even more judgment. If there's one thing that is actually destroying our world, is judgment. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm good looking, you're bad looking. I'm too bad looking, so I can't be good looking. I'm poor and everybody else is rich. All this is judgment and conclusions, and it doesn't get us any further. And my call in life is to do that, because I'm doing that even with my commercial work. I started facilitating my models and the team without even them realizing that they're being facilitated. So what I'm actually putting out there, even with commercial pictures, is beauty, is what I do with photo facilitations, except that I do it with my work. Why? Because there's so much advertising, there's so much things out there done by photographers. So what would it be like if more photographers were functioning this way, of actually inviting and including beauty with no judgment, with no projections, with no expectations in their commercial work as well, which everybody sees every single day? Would that be a different world? Would that be a contribution to create more kindness in this world, to create more of being us, even without realizing it cognitively, but receiving that message somehow?
Yeah, and when you hear like this message for 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, I need more than 10 times to receive it. And as I remember on my photo facilitation session, it was like I perceived, I was present with this, and I use it now. I use the energy of this. It's not about photos. Sometimes I use it, sometimes no. But still, when I perceive and I remember this energy, it's like I change. And now I changed not from the like physicals. I changed energy.
Yeah.
I see what I want, what I really see in my life.
Yes.
In future.
Yeah.
I perceive the energy and then I go there. It's
Yeah.
not about to do this, and this. It's like perceive the energy and go your way. That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
And
I see that in you. I'm totally aware, and I acknowledge that change because I see it. And I see how now you're being more relaxed, more confident, more powerful. And I could see all this even before you chose it. I was aware of this. So that's what I try to do. Huh?
I
What?
wasn't.
No, you were not being it. You were not choosing it, but
Yeah.
your being was showing me that. I perceived your power. I perceived your potency. I perceived your relaxation, even in challenging moments. And
Yeah, I
that for
always
me,
was it.
I'm grateful for that. Yeah, yeah. And also it's not that one photo facilitation is going to be solving your life. It's not that you do one access class and your whole life is solved. I mean, I'm doing another photo facilitation with Simone Millises in St. Petersburg. And Simone, before, we haven't seen each other for a few years now, but before we were seeing each other a lot. And every time she saw me, she was booking a photo facilitation. Same thing with Dane here. Same thing with a lot of facilitators, same thing with a lot of people, because they saw the change and they saw how every session, because you let go of some parts and you're still stuck in other points, and you want to go deeper and further to be more and more and more of you. And there's, every session changes because it brings up things. It brings up things that you're letting go of. And it also makes you more aware of like where you're restricting yourself still. And, a lot of people choose it and some people don't. Some people are happy with the first one. And I see a lot of people in the planet where with photo facilitations or facilitations in general, or especially in relationships, when they feel, oh, I've got everything that I could get from this person. And then they move away. And during my second divorce, I had a conversation with my first wife. And she said something very interesting. She said, do you realize that in all your relationships, and I've done exactly the same, you invite us to be more of us, to see our greatness, to do all of these things. And when we think that we're done with that we can't receive any more of that because you've given us everything that we could receive, then we leave you. And I was like, wow, fuck, that's really interesting because, and she said, I did that. I left you when I thought I was done. You know, and that's crazy because I'm not there to give answers. I'm there to, like I said, to empower you to grow more and more and more and more. And especially in relationships, you see how your partner is growing and it makes you super happy, especially if you're a person like me that loves to gift and to empower that person to be more of them. And I found it really crazy that my first and second divorce happened without them thinking that they have reached a goal somehow. Oh, now I'm all of me. No. When you're being all of you, you're actually letting go of your brain and you stop judging yourself completely. And even then, you're not done. Because our being is so massive that we cannot contain it in our brains. What we can do with this is to be more of us so we get to enjoy this planet even more and enjoy ourselves. So I hope that gave a little bit of a hint of what this is about. Thank you, Vera. And thank you, Masha. I was choosing pictures last night for the graphic for this call. And Masha said, yeah, but I love those pictures, but it's not me anymore. And I was looking at them, I was like, no, this is not Masha anymore. She's beautiful. She's always been beautiful, but this is another Masha.
And I see when we made all of these pictures, I don't like all of them. I have my pictures that I was hating, and now I like all of these pictures, but I see that it's not me now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time.
Yeah, and that's great, and that's that's why people choose more photo facilitations, and because they see, okay, I've let go of all my old judgments, but this is not me anymore. I've changed. So what more can I change? What more can I receive? What more is there?
And it's really interesting. It was like I was on a date with my last energy of that year.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, it's really,
yeah.
What else is possible?
What else is possible? So do any of you ladies have any questions or something that's going on for you? Because it's been very quiet on the chat, and apart from Vera and Masha, I haven't heard anybody. Yulia, you're translating. You can also ask questions or we'll go there. And Natalia and everybody else. I can just go on with being silent as well, just giving you energy. Okay, I think people are fried. And that's okay. It's okay not to have any questions. Maybe I hope that this call has given you more awareness of what you could be receiving and you don't have any questions right now. You want to be with this for a while, and maybe the questions come later. And please feel free to keep asking questions in our chats, or whatever. I'm here for you. And I just love contributing. That's really part of my being. It's actually gifting and being a contribution. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and if you really want to take something from Andrea, from me, from our team, and maybe you don't know now what it can be, like you look at the names of classes or some courses, something like this, some dates, and you didn't see that you need, You can ask me in person, and
Yeah.
I can show what can help for you.
Yeah.
What will be? I can ask you a question.
Yes. That's good.
And create. Yeah, it's not about conclusions. It's about ask a question.
And I'm willing to talk about any subject, literally any
Yeah,
subject,
any topics. Yeah.
any topic.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So
Yeah.
I hope that you got something from this, and I would like to almost end this call with something. So all the projections, expectations, judgments, rejections, computations that are still in place for us, and that we have about ourselves, that people have about ourselves, us, or that have about themselves, or any other projections, expectations, judgments, rejections, and computations, can we please now destroy and create at all times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nice, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
And we have something in chat.
Yes, Tatiana.
Tatiana, I use facilitation of myself from photo, but it's it was not so good. I think it's like sex with a partner or without, like with yourself. It's different when Andrea facilitate. I want photo facilitation someday, and I hope it's realized in the time that it will be.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And I realized that I was having a quick chat with Masha this morning, and thank you, Masha, for that. That was a huge contribution of how when I'm self-facilitating, I go automatically and unconsciously into conclusions directly. I go directly into conclusions. So I try and facilitate myself. I think I ask some questions, but those questions that I ask are not questions. They're still conclusions. They're still judgment. So thanks for reaching out, Tatiana. And yes, I'm planning. My goal is to be in Russia, and it's not a goal; it's actually a desire. It's a big desire to be in Russia the whole of the summer until my visa runs out.
Mhm.
With excluding a couple of trips that Yuli and I would like to do together to Turkey, to Dubai, and whatever else it is. So apart from that, I'm planning to be in Russia the whole summer. And if you have any questions before the photo facilitation, before you actually choose it, please feel free to call me or call Masha and ask some questions. I have a lot of people that choose it, and then they call me or they text me and they say, oh, I have some questions. I'm worried about this facilitation. I don't know what to wear. And I was like, ask your body. Ask your body. Don't go in your head, because this
Yeah.
invitation is about being real with the body.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to choose a photo facilitation, you still have 53 minutes with Andrea to call him, and he can ask you a question, and it's really clear. And you can have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
I have just one question. What to do if I have a question, I get the answer, and so I don't have any questions then. So I have this ability when I ask myself, I get the answer somehow.
Yeah, and the thing is that don't look at it as an answer, because first of all, I will not give you any answers.
This
So
is my
please-
question.
yeah. So yeah, I will not ask any question. I will not give you any answers. I'll ask you even more questions for you to actually, and don't look for the answers in your head either, because those answers that you give yourself are conclusions, rather than being aware of what else is possible and receiving even more of what you just asked a question about.
Yeah, that's why I'm emptying my space right now. I'm
Cool.
trying to give away.
Yeah. And it's really cool seeing you creating during the call, because first of all, women are much better at multitasking than men, and I'm learning to do that more and more. But you women have this capacity of multitasking, and I see how you're using Ivera to actually expand your universe even more and being present with what you said. So it's fantastic. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And I can't say that this is multitasking. I just accept this as a dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's part of dialogue. And that's what we do with art in general. We're actually having a conversation. We're actually having a dialogue. Thank you. Cool. So I think we've come to Tatiana, did that answer your well, it was not a question, it was an acknowledgement, actually. So if you're still hesitating about, should I choose this, is now the time, or whatever, reach out to us. We'll ask you some questions and bring you to the awareness, if it's for now, if it's for later, or whatever. So we're here for you. Okay. And we're coming to the end of this call after over an hour, almost an hour and a half. It was supposed to be a 20-minute call. Oh my God. But I just would like to put out, you have a menu already on the chats that Masha's been putting there, and that menu is growing because every day we get awarenesses. Oh, this would be really cool to do. And it's basically a menu that I'm presenting there of what I am aware of could actually be a contribution. And an awareness that I got this morning as well, we haven't spoken about that, Masha, I don't think. It was about, there's so many people now that require more financial stability. And the beginning of this call, I started talking about how I'm changing my life drastically right now. And I started saying that all my life, I said, I'm never going to be employed. I don't want to have a fixed job. I want to be a freelancer. And yes, I spend some time without money, but then I spend a lot of time with a lot of money so I can really enjoy my life. And recently I was like, that doesn't work for me anymore. I also want financial stability. And I want the financial stability so that I don't have these periods of panic, because I go into panic, because I don't look at myself of how much I create all the time, and I create money and I create possibilities and I create that for myself. And I'm not acknowledging that and still going from the point of view, I don't want to have a steady job. And last night with this call with my friend in Mexico, and he said that he would give me a hand finding that financial security or continuity. He's a very dear friend. He's extremely wealthy and he has a lot of companies and property and whatever, and he knows a lot of people. So he said to me, can you send me your CV? And one question that I have with your CV, do you actually write what you're actually looking for? Because most people do not write that. And I was like, fuck, no, there isn't. And he said, so Andrea, what would you like with this financial stability? And I said, well, Bruno, I'm going to around the world facilitating people, doing commercial jobs, and even through that, I'm facilitating people. And I can talk about anything with any company, and I know that I'll be a contribution. And I still would like to have my freedom. And I know there's how much incongruency going with that, because a lot of the jobs that are out there, and this is a massive conclusion, are that to have that kind of steady income, you need to be behind a desk from 9 to 5 every single day and have, if you're lucky, 1 month a year of vacation. And that does not work for me. That really does not work for me. And when I said that to Bruno, I was like, but there's also a lot of work these days that can be done remotely, online or remotely. So, and I also have had job proposals that are just that. There's one of those here in Milan. So everywhere we go into conclusions, when we actually think that we're going beyond our conclusions and looking at possibilities, can we please destroy and uncreate it all times a gazillion, including me, especially me. Right and wrong, good and bad, poor and poor, all nations, boys, poets, and beyonds. Cool.
And of course, it's not for everybody.
No, it's just for me. I'm the only one doing that. So everywhere we're not willing to receive money and financial stability from anything and anyone, rather than thinking that financial stability has to come from a steady job that you'll probably hate, or from another person. Most cases, especially Russian ladies, it has to come from a man that will provide for you, rather than you having your financial stability and then enjoying the pleasure of your partner that will contribute, possibly with even more financial stability, with even more wealth, but actually the being of this person that is willing to contribute to you and loves seeing you grow even more. So everything that doesn't allow that, can we please destroy and create at all times a gazillion? Oh,
Yes,
that was a
please.
oh, right, wrong, goodbye, Popokonashas, both prophets and beyonds. Wow, I'm going to run something similar to that because that's required. It's so fucking heavy and there's so much stuckness in that. Everything that doesn't allow you to be totally independent, having your financial stability not based on a steady job, not based onto any other person, especially your partner, can we please destroy and uncreate at all times a gazillion? Right, wrong, good, purpose and beyonds. And everywhere we're galumping, with galumping is putting things together that actually don't go together. Everywhere with galumping financial stability with our jobs, with our relationships, to our partners, to our children, to our friends, to our objects, to whatever it is, can we please, please, please destroy and uncreate at all times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, potent pock, all nine shorts, boys, pros, and beyonds. Woo! Wow, wow, wow. That was a biggie. So going back and closing, really closing this time, this call, what I'm offering is, of course, photo facilitation, because again, that is possibly one of my biggest contributions. And I'm surprised that, I'm not fully booked all the time with that. There's more and more people choosing it, which I'm grateful for, but I have so much to give with that. But we also have calls about etiquette. That is brilliant. And we have calls about, remind me, Masha, what do we have?
I want to talk about etiquette course, and it's like, never bring your man there. If you want to hear something like Andrea said to Julia, because sometimes we are on calls and when Julia is on these calls or you're talking about her, it's like a lot of romantic words. And it's not only words, it's really what you are.
Yeah, I'm a romantic person, and being romantic for me is actually being the caring, nurturing energy of somebody that you totally adore, no matter what they're like. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I require from a relationship is warmth, kindness, and that attachment. I don't require more. I'm very easily to please, So, but I'm willing to gift everything that person requires. Mm-hmm. So don't bring your men to this call, because they will not start being romantic. They will not start being kinder to you. And it won't create anything if you bring your man. Wedgie.
And don't bring yourself, because if you start to be
exactly don't
the same for yourself.
Yeah. Exactly, because don't just push your man, literally push your man, go and do this because you need this. No, that's not kind either. Let's go and do this together, darling, and get this and use it, because, I'm using in the graphics the thing of etiquette that everybody thinks it's, and it's how to behave at a table, or how to be dressed, or the thing that, how you be with people and whatever. And they go into conclusions. And this is such a bigger topic than that. Cool. And what else do we have? We have a lot of things. I have private facilitations. I still have the coffee with Andrea, because I enjoy those. And it's basically having a coffee somewhere and you get a facilitation, a private facilitation. What else are we offering?
Angela's class.
Ageless, yes, the ageless class. And also, Masha asked a question in our threads in Russian. What would you like to receive from this? So if there's something that is not on the menu, propose it, because maybe we'll get the energy of like, fuck, yes, how could we leave this out? Of course we do that.
I have an idea. You could organize a speaking club, like English speaking club.
That's
I-
cool.
I
That's
have
cool.
some adults who are
Yeah.
going to
But
be.
you know that there is one actually in St. Petersburg. There is a speaking club for all languages, but there is one in English. They do it every week. It's organized by the expats, people of St. Pete. And they asked me to actually hold one, so I'll be holding one. They ask different people, but it's conversational talks. So we can start with that and then create our own.
Mhm.
Cool. But that's a really cool idea, and I enjoy that. I like that.
And the etiquette course we want to make not only online, it will be like a class online, and then in St. Petersburg we will have live dinner with Andrea,
Yes, hold
where
on.
we talk more about etiquette, about manners, and about the energy, what it will be, the king, the queen.
Exactly. Yes. So it's two parts. It's etiquette online and then
Mhm.
etiquette. And it's limited amount of people in a nice restaurant with a lovely dinner where we're actually exploring more of the etiquette from the class. And if you were not on the online class, then I'll be probably talking about that, but actually enjoying dinner with the etiquette that I receive now that I could not receive before. I've been brought up with etiquette from my parents, and I went into total reaction of that for a certain period until I went like, wow, so this is what etiquette actually is.
And
Cool.
we really want to have a lot of fun with you guys. So
Yes, exactly.
let's have more rest, more fun in St. Petersburg. It's really summer now, and
Yes.
we can create a party.
Yay.
Some small.
And I was going to ask a question, Masha. I'm going to ask Yulia later on today as well. Shall I bring my DJ set? So maybe we can organize maybe
Yeah.
a classic dance somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, we can make some dance. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. So we'll do that too. I did one in Bali and that was really cool. Yes. So let's dance as well. So I'm excited to see you all in person. Oh, one more thing. If you get the photo facilitations are not cheap, although for Russia, I have a special price because the price for photo facilitations has gone up to 2,000 euros. But for Russia, what's the price, Masha? Photo facilitation
What?
price? How much is a photo facilitation?
You stay the last price? I think so.
Yeah. Yes, I stay the last price, which is 1,200 euros. And if you still think that's a lot of money, we can organize, or Masha can help you organize actually getting some money from the bank and pay this over months. And so you can actually choose it when you choose to choose it and not having money as a reason and justification and a blockage for choosing what you actually get would create greater for you. Okay. And I'm not encouraging you to go into debt with the bank, for God's sake. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that there are other possibilities. Okay. Fantastic. I adore you guys. I hope you got something from this call. If you did, just put a heart or a like or whatever in the chat. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon in Russia. I'm getting my visa on Monday, buying my ticket on Monday. I'm coming next week. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, everybody. Mwah. Bye-bye. Пока-пока. Пока-пока.
Пока-пока.
Пока-пока.